Hey, Mike Bledsoe here from the Barbell Shrugged Podcast, here to answer some questions with Ask Daily BS. I had a question submitted about different warm-ups for different types of training days. So we have a strength day here, a short Metcon, and a long Metcon. So for your strength day, you definitely, there are different warm-ups for different types of training. So for a strength day, you definitely want to, first, I'm going to talk about an ideal warm-up here. You're going to foam roll first, and then you're going to do stretches that are going to help you get in the positions you need to be in. So if you are squatting that day, then you would want to, and you had some restrictions for external rotation or some ankle mobility problems, then I would address those. If you have requisite amount of mobility, I wouldn't mess with stretching before you did any strength work. Same with overhead press. If you're pressing that day, doing some strength work, if maybe you have some shoulder flexion issues, you would do some mobility work to address that so that you can more easily get in a better position. Again, if you don't have any mobility restrictions, I'm not real big on stretching before you do any strength work because it can actually reduce how much you can lift, unless, of course, there's a restriction. So second part is for the warm-up for strength stuff is I like to get on Airdyne or a rower for a couple minutes just to get the blood flow going. No heart rate, target heart rate or anything like that. And then when I get off, I actually do some dynamic range of motion, swing the legs around, swing the arms around, active range of motion, not stretching really, but you can find some dynamic range of motion stuff out there. I think we have Doug did a warm-up technique WOD where he goes through a lot of dynamic range of motion. You can find that on the website under technique WOD. Go through that, and then when you're doing strength stuff, for instance, if I'm back squatting, I'm working up to a heavy weight, I find my target weight and I try to make 20% jumps on the way up. So if I'm squatting 400 pounds, then I'm going to go, what would be 20%? 400. So like 40-pound jumps all the way up, right? So that wouldn't be right, 80-pound jumps. I know math. Yeah. So I like to make because I don't want to get too tired working up to a heavy weight, but you want to work up progressively, all right? So that would be just an example of how I would like to work up and warm up for, say, squatting or a strength day. For a short Metcon, you actually need to warm up more. So we're looking at short Metcon versus long Metcon. With long Metcon, I don't want my warm-up to be as long because it's just going to be more drawn out. You're going to have a more gradual increase in heart rate with a long Metcon anyway. With a short Metcon, your heart rate's going to skyrocket real fast, and it's better for you to try to make it gradually get there and get blood flow going. So if you're doing something like Fran, which is a short Metcon, do a nice long warm-up. I think rowing, Airdyne, jogging, along with working on those mobility restrictions, doing the foam rolling first, do all that, and then make sure your heart rate is up. I'd say at least 120 beats a minute before you go into something like that. I like to work up to get my heart rate up maybe to 120 to 150, somewhere in there, and then take about a minute break, gather myself, and then go into something like Fran. And during the warm-up for something like Fran, I would practice the movements I'm about to do. So during the warm-up, after you do some dynamic warm-up, I would throw in doing some thrusters and some pull-ups. If I'm warming up for pull-ups, I'll do some ring rows as well before I throw myself on the bar. As you get older, you'll know what I'm talking about. And then for the long ones, I do like to get my heart rate up just a little bit. Not nearly as prepared for a short Metcon, but for the long workouts, again, you want to do the foam rolling, kind of do dynamic warm up, and then practice. I like to just practice the movements and then jump right into it. I'm talking about a workout that might take 40 minutes. So that long of a workout, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time trying to get my heart rate up. I'm going to gradually increase the intensity through the workout. If you have any more questions, go to barbellshrugged.com and click on Ask a Question.